How is it going, my fine fellow fathers, on this Sunday, Father's Day? Did you get told Father's Day? Did everyone in your house forget about you? I'm so sorry. I'm here for you. Just, uh, I wanted to put this episode out today, so I'm literally just going to record it and then hit publish. None of that bullfuckery where I'm taking out stupid things I say, because if I did that, this podcast would have about 2 seconds worth of fucking listenability. Listeness. Oh, Jesus Christ, I about threw up in my mouth a little bit. Oh, y'all are in for a lucky one today. Normally, I'm a wake and bake, start my day kind of guy. But I knew I was going to have today virtually by myself. It's just me and the Lucy. She's over there in her swing just smiling at me, being such a happy baby right now. But yeah, so I was like, you know what? I'm not going to wake and bake. I'm going to wake up, take my fucking B12, take my alpha brain, pound of fucking Celsius, and then I am going to churn out some content like I'm an old lady in the 1800s making some fucking butter, just fucking squeezing that shit out of there. I know somebody heard that and they was like, that does not sound like you're making butter. But that's what I was doing. That's what that noise is. That's making butter. Alright, so in the theme of Father's Day, I guess I can talk about how I've seen my dad a couple times here recently. If you're new to the podcast or just my YouTube channel in general, then you might not know that I put out a whole fucking, I don't know, what was it, 5 minutes or so, stand up just talking shit about my dad, and not really trying to talk shit, but just I don't know, making fucking comedy about my life. Fucking judge me, I don't know. But, yeah, so that was at a point in time where we were not very happy with each other. And the way we operate, since we're men, is we will have an argument and then just ignore each other for 5 months. And then he'll call me and be like, hey, I want to come bring some toys for the kids. Is that okay? And I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. I might be mad at you, but the kids ain't got nothing to do with that. You're still their grandpa. So then he comes and then we just continue to act like everything's fine and we didn't argue. But it's really, the argument wasn't really so much of an argument as it was me just being like, hey, these are the things that I see happening in your life. And if that's the way that it's going to continue happening, then we can't have you in our lives. And I think that was a good thing, Sometimes it's really fucking hard to say stuff like that because you're like, I don't want to hurt this person that I need to talk to. But if I don't speak my mind, then I'm doing a disservice to both of us. And even in extension, Jesus Christ, it hurts my family, So, yeah, I mean, I don't have to go into the details about the conversation that we had, but I was basically just like, hey, buddy, fucking tighten it up, And, yeah, I've seen him a couple times. It's been good. You don't realize you miss somebody until you see him again. And my dad and I are alike in a lot of ways. And that means we butt heads a lot. Just stubbornness and just general attitude, I suppose. I'm a smart ass and I get that from somewhere. So it can get a little tense at times, but it's also at the end of the day, like, hey, fucking love you, man. Like, you're my father. You might be an asshole. I might be an asshole, but we still love each other. And that's all there is to say about it, I guess. Been having a really hard time just not losing my fucking mind with these kids all the time. And it makes you feel like the worst fucking person in the world. But I have a 2-year-old who's constantly at my fucking hip going dada, dada, dada. Like, he could say plenty more words than that, but his favorite one is fucking dada. And now I have a 1-year-old who's learning what her brother is doing, so she's walking up and going dada, dada, dada. And it just like seeps into my brain. If I hear dada one more fucking time, I might just rip my goddamn ears off of my head so I don't have to hear it anymore. But then I have to tell myself, like, okay, eventually they're going to come to a point to where they're not going to be saying dada. They'll say dad or leave me alone, dad, or what the fuck ever they're going to say. So I'm trying to be conscious of that and just not, because I always end up, one of them will be trying to talk to me, and then the other one starts talking, and then my 5-year-old will come up and be like, hey, Daddy Dusty, because, stepdad, that's what she calls me. And then I'll be like, what? Jesus Christ, 50 million things going on at once. And then they're all just sitting there looking at me like, what's your problem, dude? We just want a fucking snack. And then I'm like, all you ever want is snacks. That's all I do, it feels like, is feed you fucking kids. But it's fine, I always, when I complain about the children, my initial thought is, well, it's my fault for having so many kids. But it's like, it's not really a fault, because I wouldn't trade any of these kids for literally anything in the fucking world. But it's just like, can't I complain about them without it being like somebody's fault or something? Like, can't I just be like, holy fuck, they're getting on my nerves, without my brain being like, well, you did this to yourself, you dumb son of a bitch. Maybe if you would fucking pull out a little every now and again, you wouldn't be fucking popping out babies every year, I'm just like, and then my brain's like, well, pulling out sucks. Like, I fucking used a condom the other day, and it literally felt like I was fucking, like, actually like rubber, like doing what I was doing. And, oh, God. But yeah, so I've been just trying to be better about, I guess, not being such a dick all the time. Kelly and I have been having, I don't want to say more arguments, because it kind of, it goes back and forth with the level of stress that we have. If we don't have much stress, we're not fighting at all. If we have a bunch of stress, then guess what? We're fighting a lot. And I feel like not just us specifically, but everyone in the fucking world needs to just get out of their head every now and again. We spend so much time in our heads that every problem gets blown up so big that it becomes a fucking hot air balloon, and then you're just floating in the air from fucking anxiety and anger and stress. And then eventually that fucking balloon's gonna pop, and then you're just in a free fall of fucking emotions, and you're sitting there like, I don't know what to do, everything's so hard. When in reality, if you just stop thinking for a minute and go outside, then you will feel a lot better. That's something else I've been trying to do. I feel like this whole podcast is me just talking about stuff that I need to do to improve my life, but that I'm too lazy to do. But I actually have been doing this, and it's when I'm starting to feel like especially in the morning times, groggy and just not 100% yet, I'll just go fucking outside. Huberman says to look at the sun and stuff at the beginning of the day, but I tried that and it just hurt my eyes. So I just go outside, take some fucking big breaths, just soak in the nature a little bit. And that usually gets me woken up and pretty ready to go. I mean, all in all, there's less bad that comes from it than like you're in a net positive just by going outside. I have to deal with this child for a second, so I'm going to just try and keep the conversation going. Oh, man. You see, some people, they go to a whole fucking house when they need to record a podcast. Me, I just continue living my daily life and just let y'all in on it. That's what's so frustrating about doing the podcast compared to anything else. It's just the amount of like setup that's fucking required to do it. But I guess it's just me complaining about doing shit that I like doing anyways. But oh man, I forgot where my fucking train of thought even was. In our heads too much. Going outside. Yeah, so me and Kelly had talked about like how much we feel comfortable sharing of our lives, and like in part of being the content creators, because Kelly does her own stuff too that she's wanting to get back into again, and it's hard walking that line between like oversharing and not sharing enough to actually be helpful. So I'm going to try my best to explain the situation here without giving out details that you guys don't fucking need. So the other night, nobody slept. It was just a shit night, one of them nights where nobody in the house fucking sleeps. And I've mentioned this before, but if you don't know, where we have so many fucking young babies, me and Kelly don't get to sleep in the same bed. I sleep wherever the fuck I end up sleeping with the children, with the older ones who need me to lay them down. And then I'll usually just lay in the living room while they're in their bedroom. So when they come out, they don't fucking throw a fit, crying, wake up Kelly and the baby, start a whole thing. Okay. I'm telling you that to say that, like, throughout the whole house, nobody slept. Not in one bedroom, not in the other bedroom, not fucking me, nobody. Nobody slept. And then, obviously, the next day, everybody woke up tired and cranky. So when everybody's tired and cranky, what happens? Feelings get hurt, fights start, and shit just goes downhill from there. And we are really bad about being like a goddamn snowball rolling down fucking Mount Everest and just like avalanching everything down. And it's something that we've talked about, just being like, hey, I'm actually mad at you for not closing the goddamn lid on the ketchup, but I'm going to yell at you because you forgot to fucking tell me happy birthday 7 years ago or what the fuck ever, just saying shit that's not really what you're mad about, but you might have been mad about it at one point in time. And now your brain's like, I got the opportunity now. I better seize that motherfucker and be mad. But that kept happening. It was just all day. Everybody was just grumpy, and me and Kelly just kept fighting and fighting. And we try not to fight in front of the kids, but we don't have a huge house, And little kids like to be right up your ass. So there's really no way to get them away and for us to have an argument, because you have to argue sometimes. Like, you hear about couples and it's like, oh, y'all never fight. Oh, me and my wife, we never fight. We're perfect for each other. You know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like some fucking bullshit, right? Like, if you never fight, that either means one person in the relationship is just a goddamn plank for everybody to walk on, or I don't know what else it means. Like, maybe it just means that me and Kelly are both just like stubborn and sensitive, so we fight more. But like, it feels healthy to fight. I don't know. We fight, and then after the fight, even if it lasts 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, after we're fucking done, then we're good. You know, we talk about it, talk about how we were feeling in the moment, and then we come together and work through it, you know? If you don't ever have those moments to where you're like, hey, I'm feeling like this, and it makes me mad that I'm feeling like this, and you're not fucking acknowledging it, then like, what are you doing? Are you just stuffing down all of your feelings until you get a divorce 20 years from now? Or fucking 5 years from now? I don't know. Like, a common thread, I think I could share this and it not be too much, but a common thing that seems to be happening every time Kelly and I get into an argument is we both get the urge or the fight or flight response. Both of ours ends up being flight, and we start fighting, and then we're like, I don't think we should be in this relationship anymore. And it's really not helpful at all, because we both know we want to be in the fucking relationship. Like, we love each other, but in the moment, it's easier to just say, I'm done. And that is a really fucking hard thing to get over. I mean, especially like someone like me that literally, as soon as any relationship got hard before, friendships, like I didn't date much before Kelly, honestly. Like, I was a fuckboy and I just didn't date much. So as soon as anything that might have been a relationship got somewhat difficult, I was like, boom, dropping that person. Done. But with Kelly, I fucking love this woman, so I get mad as all fucking can be, and then I just have to fucking just sit back and just take it and feel my emotions like a fucking pussy and just sit there and get over it. Because what am I going to do? Lose this lady? Like, not be with the woman I love? Because I'm fucking mad for... The only reason I'm mad is because she's mad. And like, you're gonna be mad at me? Well, guess what? I can be even madder. And it just doesn't help anybody. But I think we're getting better at it. Like, getting better at fighting sounds silly, because you would think that the end goal would be to not fight. But I've already said how I feel about not fighting, so I would rather just be able to fight and express ourselves in the most healthy way possible without being like, the world is on fire. What's that? I don't know who sings that fucking song. That it's the end of the world as is your baby, and I'll be fine. But I just want to get to the point to where we can... It's almost like an emotionless robot. Just be like, I feel mad. This is why I feel mad. I feel like my robot voice changed in between the two pauses, but you know. And then it's like, now I am sad. These are the things that made me sad. These are the things you can do to make me happy. And like, not have to go through the whole thing, because it makes you feel so bad as a parent. Like, you yell, or even just like when you yell at the kids and they look at you like, you're some giant, terrifying fucking monster. And you have to just realize, like, fuck me. I don't remember what it was like, because I guess they call that trauma. But, like, I do that often, try and put myself in the shoes of fucking the little kid, like, sitting there looking at me. Like, I take Ariel's toy away from her, and she starts crying. And then I'm like, okay, in her head, that toy was the most important thing for her in this moment. And I just walked up and ripped it from her fucking hands. Because she is getting to the point, being 1 year old and being a damn insane child, she not only crawls over everything, climbs over everything. Not crawls, she don't crawl, she fucking runs now, but she's almost 2. She climbs over everything, she's grabbing fucking everything, and it's nuts. I mean, I'm terrible at leaving my vape laying around, and she grabs that shit and it's just like, oh, so you want to start an early addiction? That's great. They're really fucking getting them young now with my shitty parenting. But, oh God, I done forgot where I was going with this. I'm not going to go too much longer. You know, we like to keep it short. But I did just want to end this episode by saying, all of you out there who keep coming back and listening, I appreciate it. Like, you guys are the whole reason I'm keeping doing this podcast. I like doing it, but it's so much harder to sit down here and talk for 30 minutes instead of just make a stupid fucking video, you know, like make a stupid skit and edit it, work on it for hours, but then it end up being a 1 minute project instead of this, or I have to actually like be myself and talk. But really, I do appreciate it. All of my fucking fantastic followers, and if you're not a father, then the other people who listen to this podcast, thank you so much. Happy Father's Day. If you're not a father, give your father a call. Give your husband a fucking kiss. Goodbye.